this day and age, you know, everybody's looking for a magic bean or a product they can buy to help them kill that big buck, or in this case, catch more coyotes. And there are a lot of good products out there. And you know, we're sponsored by a lot of great companies. And if you notice, not a single one is a gimmick. And the same goes for the tools that I use on a trap line and the sets that I make to catch coyotes. You know, this can be as simple or it can be as complex as you make it.
Well, we've had a lot of people comment wanting to see more trapping videos, and right now it's into March and we're trapping still. We've been at it hard since January 10th. I'm tired, been on the road for 3 months. We've learned a lot of things. We've taken out a lot of predators. Me and Levi are gonna do some videos on trapping. They're gonna be shorter. They're gonna be very, very simple. They're gonna be very informative to help you guys catch some critters. And the first video, I'm calling it Simplify, mainly because what we do is so simple, it's not even funny. You know, everybody wants me to do more trapping videos, but it's hard to do them because we've already done them and we've showed people how to do it, but we haven't changed anything. We don't change our tactics. We don't change our equipment. We do the same thing every day. We set our traps the same way. We look for the same sign. And one thing we found out over the course of doing this for several years is all the coyotes speak the same language. From Texas to Illinois to Alabama, wherever. They just can't stand it. And what I mean by simplifying the process, it starts out with a bucket. This is my bucket that I carry. I've been carrying this around for 3 or 4 years. I got all kinds of wear and tear on it. Just a Lowe's bucket and attach a smaller one to it. Reason being, I keep all my tools in the big one. Bait lure and urine goes in the small bucket. Okay, first tool of the trade is my trap. This is a Bridger number 3, fully modified with a Fox Hollow Super Stake end. Pair that up with a heat-treated stake driver, and you've got one bad machine. That stake driver will last you forever. They're a little more expensive, they're like $28, but that will last you forever if you don't lose it. Now, what we're making right here is a dirt hole. 90% of the time when I'm catching coyotes or trapping coyotes, I'm making dirt hole sets. It's nothing fancy, but it works extremely well. This is the #1 tool for making a dirt hole set. It's just a 2-inch dirt hole auger. That's what I prefer on a DeWalt drill, 20-volt cordless. Right here we've got a piece of backing, a little tuft of grass. This is how fast you can drill a hole. Just like that. It takes all the work out of having to carry a trowel with you and digging and trying to make the hole perfect. You notice I drilled that at a 45-degree angle. It works out perfect. The next essential tool, we've got heavy-duty sifter. I carry around 2 hammers. I carry around a 4-pound hammer, and then this little masonry hammer. I've been carrying that around for about 4 years. It's just a nice little hammer. It works really well in this harder type ground. You know, I used to use a sod buster hammer, but it's a little big. When you get in, you know, really tight soil, it's just a little big. This smaller claw digs just a little bit better. Next, very, very essential tool to why we are successful is that right there. The simplest thing is a screen wire pan cover. You know, you see a lot of people using polyfill underneath their pans, or a tuft of grass, or peat moss, anything like that. And yeah, you can catch coyotes doing that. This is just what I prefer because I've seen it work. I've seen it outlast all the other options that are out there, especially in inclement weather. You know, we're trapping Alabama, Texas, wherever. We get a lot of rain this time of year. That holds up in the harsh weather. Basically, for this Bridger number 3 fully modified, we cut these at 5 3/4 wide and 7 1/4 long. It fits in there perfect. It almost looks like it's too big when you cut it, but it fits perfectly covers the whole inside of the jaws. We've got that trap modified the way we want it. And you can see it lays perfectly flat. There's no bulge in there whatsoever. You couldn't ask for a better laying pan cover. And you don't have to fool with it. After you get that like that, it's perfect. I mainly use red fox urine with some type of red fox lure. It really doesn't matter. A little squirt on the back of the hole. You know, it doesn't really matter what kind of lure or urine you're using as long as you're confident with it. You know, this is a location right here. We've got a cat track. So I'm actually putting out some little bit of Wildcat #1. Works great. Got that on the back of the hole. Next thing, I'm confident with RK's Predator Plus. Sheep's wool, I just threw that right there. Just get a little handful of sheep's wool, a little bit of bait, and down the hole that goes. That right there is the simplest form of coyote trapping there is. A dirt hole set with gland lure, urine, and bait in the hole. That animal is gonna come up here. You know, it may be tomorrow, it may be 2 days, it may be 7 days away. But I guarantee you, if he comes by here, he's gonna come the way I've had this trap set, and he's gonna step right there. And he is a caught coyote. I just ate dirt. As you can tell, I'm more worried about the dirt in my mouth than the trap in my hand. They don't hurt the animal. Can you see it in my face?
Maybe. Yeah. Call me old school, call me what you will, but when it comes to trapping predators, there's nothing better than a good old dirt hole. You know, it's simple, it's nothing new, it's nothing that I invented. It's a tool that people have been using for hundreds of years. You know, there's many variations of it, but the way I see it is for a guy that's just getting into trapping or a guy that's, you know, been doing it for several years. My best advice to you is master, and I mean master, that one dirt hole set or that flat set. Master a couple sets where you can consistently catch coyotes, bobcats, raccoons, whatever you're after, and run with it. That is key. Don't get caught up in all of the jargon, all of the, you know, different lures and different baits that all they do is confuse you. Find that one or two consistent performer and run with it. If you'll notice, I didn't get real specific with the details on how I make a dirt hole set, but that's because we've got a lot more coming up. This is #1 in a series of videos. In the next 2 weeks, we're gonna be adding new videos. So keep checking, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and be ready for some more trapping videos.